Lovely.
Good.
Okay.
We are level 7 now.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone.
RTX voice you did. And Kids left the clap real good.
Wait, what happened?
Just tried to do the clap, but it canceled out the background noise.
It's like, this isn't talking.
Wait,
Why would you want
I
to
don't have that
transmit it?
enabled. I can do the clap for you.
Just say the word clap very loudly.
I'll keep this in.
Just
Hello,
get
everyone.
close to the camera and
Oh,
go,
shit, that was funny.
Let's get really close. Clap. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another wonderful week at RIAM. We've been installing some things to hopefully make this go a little bit easier. And that has ruined some of the things I was using the tractor and the editing. So don't worry about it. I'll take care of it in post as much as I do any time. We are back with our intrepid group as they make their way back from Sigil. But as is tradition around here, it is time for introductions. And I had thought of a particularly devious one just now. So, if you would, feel free to introduce yourselves in any order you would like, but give me a little description of what the nega version of your character would be. The opposites.
Will looks delighted by this, by the way.
Ooh.
And Randall looks horrified, just to give an indication of reactions.
For those
my
at home,
precious
and
child.
this is like stalling in order to give people a moment to think as well. This is a tactic Scoot has used on at least some of us in other campaigns of trying to describe, or even sometimes we get to play our nega selves, our anti-selves, our shadow link selves, and is arguably one of my favorite character building exercises because I have learned a lot about the character I'm actually playing by trying to define the opposite
Mm-hmm.
in like very cool ways. However, the fear that you're seeing out of Randall is because sometimes shit gets real.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, big
So-
feels came up.
So we take it seriously, except for the part where I'm eating a lot of Cheetos. But other than that, this is a very serious exercise.
So would somebody like to go first? Because as the DM, I am all sides of the coin, so it doesn't matter to me. But I am Scoot the DM, by the way.
I actually know exactly who the opposite version of Tessa would be. So if you want, I can go first and give you guys a moment to think.
Yeah, please
Is it
do.
Eris?
No. I'm Deb. I'm playing Tessa, the Tiefling Paladin, who is normally pretty bubbly and happy and a overall good person. I think her counterpart for anybody who's seen Castlevania would be Striga, she's also a big gal, but she's a bloodthirsty vampire who loves to kill people. So, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. All right, I actually have mine. All right, so I'm Randall, and I play Kiki, the Kenku Tinkerer. So she is very intellectual, like so much so that she can get lost in books and notebooks and schemata and so on. She loves figuring stuff out, blows stuff up mostly on purpose, etc. Only for personal defense, mind you. Usually for personal defense. I think her nega character would actually be kind of like an airheaded bard. But she would be like, so she would have marginal intelligence, but she would like use her mimicry trait to basically cobble off of other bards because she would just like, she wouldn't actually have any original music or sound of her own. She would just like sample. So she would also like not have any integrity, do things like that. And she'd probably have dyed her feathers or black feathers, like bright colors and different spots and things like that. She'd be a lot more vain bird than she is. Yeah.
Wonderful. Anyone else?
I can go. I sometimes think and play Roscoe. Oh, I'm Will. I play Roscoe, the sorcerer / warlock, Asimar. I sometimes like if I'm trying to think of what Roscoe would do next, think of him as the guy who skips class for a good reason. Like I'm skipping class. Like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, but it's for like a good thing. Like I'm going to go learn something somewhere else, and that's good too. And like everybody chill the fuck out. Yeah. So I think that Roscoe's nega self would be something of the hall monitor. Would be like a very like detail oriented, super strict, lawful kind of person, and to the point of like, how can I use the law? Like, lawful evil is very like. I mean, I recognize that those are opposite sides of the traditional alignment chart anyway, but like the idea of like somebody who is so focused and nitpicky about doing things exactly right for themselves and making sure everybody else has to follow that. That's Nega Roscoe.
I'm Robert. Oh, sorry, Kate. You want to go first?
No, go ahead, Robert.
All right. I'm Robert. I play Nick, the human wizard. I think Nega Nick would Nega Nick, yes. Nega Nick. Spoiled rich kid. Absolutely zero empathy.
Likes people who wear pants.
Likes people who big fan of pantaloons. Actually, large investor in a pants manufacturer. No,
the son of
a pants magnate. But no, in all seriousness, very little empathy. Very much into like the whole like money is everything mentality. Like your goodness is determined by how much money you have, not by any other actual factors. Yeah, that's Nega Nick. He's not a nice fella, I reckon.
Hi, I'm Kate. I play Neva, our half-dryad druid. So I suppose Nega Neva, which is also delightful to say. So she's got some her background is she comes from the Spring Court, and she is true neutral. But like her character traits are that she is a leader, she has a strong motivation to like keep places safe, and she absolutely loves kids and holidays. So a nega version of Neva to me would be aligned with the Fall Court. So very kind of tricksy, shadowy, roguey type. Very selfish in her purposes and designs. Absolutely fucking hates kids. Can't stand them. Doesn't like pets either. I know because in the druid, I suppose like a nega version of that would be like, you know, loves city and industrialization. But like my interpretation of the nega version of her is more about like less is that she wouldn't care about the letting things grow in the way they are meant to grow or helping them to do so, but twisting and warping them to her own purposes or trying to bring about the destruction of things in order to create regrowth.
Oh my god, your opposite is Radia.
We don't talk about that name, Deb.
Sorry.
No, I'm thinking more of like I'm trying to think of a good character for it. Have you guys ever seen, there's a Tumblr post, because there's of course a Tumblr post. There's a Tumblr post about what the Ents would be like if they got the One Ring.
Yes.
Which is let me read it because it sums it up pretty well.
I'm intrigued.
Here it is. Stones will break and roots will squeeze. Vines will grow and bend all knees. Mushrooms hunt and thorns yoke. Weeds strangle and flowers choke. The age of skin is done. The hour of bark is come. That's Neganiva.
Tolkien writes a lot, but sometimes it's cool, but like, you know, need to cut it down. Jesus, JR. But now that we've got our intros out of the way, and none of that will ever come up again, I promise.
Or never.
Never come up again. We bring ourselves back as the The gang has found a very profitable venture with a large bear, a woman that goes through many, many doors, and they've managed to get themselves a little bit of cash, and they have some new toys that they got off screen. I don't know if you folks would like to share those.
Sure.
Where are we just sharing us, or are we just getting in? Is everybody, our
So
characters
you've all
getting to see
come
the
back
goodies?
to the Winston, that guardian bear from Sigil, has dropped your asses back off in Thunderbalde City. As that's he moves about the multiverse quite easily, and that's where he has placed you. So you've all been given these satchels which had money in them, as well as an extra item from the bear. So you are all out. Now he's dropped you off at a very shady, dark back alley, and you are just sort of standing there as he's waved goodbye to you. He instructs you to never come back unattended, and then he leaves.
Yeah.
That's fair. I can start.
Hmm?
You will see, bag of cash in my somewhat typical Bindle fashion, but you see me tying it to the end of a new spear. It is pretty silver, and it's wood, but it's like a silvery wood along the haft. Everything's grays and whatnot. And it has that crossbar at the base of the spear point, if you can picture it, that is typical with boar hunting spears, because it stops the boar. The boar can't keep pushing down the spear to come at you even as you're killing it. So it's got that crossbar. And it says on the hilt toward the top, it is engraved. It says boar hunter, but it's spelled BORE hunter, like boring people hunter, because it is a +1 spear that also gives me the Mage Slayer feat. So you see me just throw boar hunter over my shoulder,
Nice.
tied up with gold at the end.
I did not name that piece. I'm gonna give Will a point of inspiration for that.
I thought you'd like that.
I do.
It's good to know what Will thinks of Nick.
Magic users.
Hi, also full caster. Just I know what the deal is.
Now all you need is a magic helmet so you can fight with your spear and magic helmet.
Will, I feel like there might be a conversation that Roscoe needs to have with a good therapist there.
That's
His feelings
true for
about
all of us.
magicians. All true.
You guys might also notice that Neva is wearing a new necklace. It looks kind of like if somebody took vines and plated them with gold.
It's not a pearl necklace, is it? Hmm?
I specifically said vines, Scoot.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was rolling dice.
It's like basically like what roses would look like if roses were made out of gold, worn in a necklace. And this is the Choker of Insight, which lets Neva use her perception rolls for insight. So basically, Scoot has just given me the ability to be Briseis again, minus the stabby and the key.
It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty great, because my perception rolls were already pretty great. I mean, to be fair, my insight checks
To be fair.
are about
Aw.
my perception is ever so slightly better, and now I can just throw all my bonus stuff into perception.
Hashtag humble brag.
Hashtag not humble at all.
Nope. Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Bear blessed.
So Kiki won't have anything noticeable on her, except that if you look over her shoulder, she'll be studying new plans that she got for 3 different devices. She can now make what is referred to in the business as a bouncing Betty, which I've never heard of before this. It's a landmine that pops up like a grenade. She can also make a syringe that will help deliver healing potions. and she can make a special bolt for her crossbow that if it hits, it reduces its AC. I think it's pretty cool.
Indeed.
So the syringe, can she like shoot that or throw that or like?
Yeah, you can shoot it.
Okay. Cool. Good to know.
Nick looks pretty much the same. Nothing visibly changed, but he's holding his the little pebble that he was casting. Well, pebble's a little small, fist sized. That he was fiddling with over the last part of our journey. He's holding that and looking thoughtful about it.
Neva knows what that is.
Well, yes, but it's not a tummy rock.
But are you sure it's not a tummy rock?
I also have a tummy rock. But this is just my transmutation stone.
Tessa?
So, Tessa's item is actually very noticeable. It's a giant shield that's got like these like magic runes on it and like magic symbols, and it's pretty ornate. And what it is a shield of spell reflection. So not only does it function as a shield, but she can redirect a spell that's cast toward her. She can redirect it either to another person, not the caster, or just have it go harmlessly away. So she spent a little bit of time trying to think about creative ways to use this, most of which are just goofy. And I'm sure we will get into some goofy shenanigans with that. Totally not going to bounce magic missiles off of that or anything.
No, or maybe
That's
hot dogs.
pretty sweet.
Or just like
They're called
find some way to
meatballs.
levitate Kiki and toss her up to the shield so she bounces across.
Sort of like a fastball special or something,
Exactly.
but she bounces up.
Like that jump distance too far? I don't think so.
Nice.
Alrighty, so off you folks go. Now you have your toys, you sort of show each other. But you have some business with some dwarves, I believe.
So I guess we go back to the tavern. I mean, I could use another cheesesteak. Definitely.
Or 3, considering that everyone sort of gave you theirs.
Okay. Here we go.
Yes,
Casuals.
that's an accurate description.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go talk to some dwarves.
Off you go to the guild hall where you see the one you were talking before, Neva. He's buying provisions and he's bartering with the people there. He's like buying like sacks of grain and other well-preserved foods, but you're noticing it's things that will do well in the heat. He's not really paying attention anyway. This is a very safe city, so he's just doing orders and writing things down, talking with different people to get these supplies delivered somewhere, it would seem. As you're sort of with your passive perception, you can hear roughly what they're talking about, despite the din of the market.
All right. Let's go over and let them know that we have the money.
Okay. Are you all rolling up on it?
Up to them whether they want to come along or want me to do it.
I think I at least would be in the area. I don't need to be a part of the conversation. Like, I'll give them space, but I'm around.
I think Kiki, just inertia would carry her whatever direction. Like, she wouldn't intend to follow you. She would just be like, oh, we're going this way now? Okay. So, yeah,
I think
she'd
Tessa's
be
just going to
nearby.
go with the crowd. So if everybody's heading that way, just going to... All right.
I feel like at some point Kiki's going to be on one of those kid leashes. And it's not meant to be like punitive. It's
Okay, that's fair.
like it's
No,
just
that's fair.
you have to keep her from walking into traffic. Like after the 3rd time, it's like we need to do something about this. So he turns. Right. Oh, right. You're the one with the horns and the birds and the winged folk.
That about sums it up.
Yeah. Neva.
There you go.
Right.
Is there still room in that expedition you mentioned?
Of course. Do you have the coin?
We do.
Really?
Would you like to be paid an entirety now, or do you do half now, half later?
I mean, normally we do half and half, but We'll take it however you got it.
If that's your standard method of payment, that's what we would prefer to do.
Right, where'd you come up with the coin? You got a sponsor or something?
No, we assisted with the return of a stolen object.
Oh, right. Stolen. And he gives you a wink. We don't ask a whole lot of questions.
It fell off the back of a truck.
Of course it did. No, look, we've dealt with the badgers in the underbelly a little bit.
No.
No, right, it's right off the back of a cart. It probably was in some sort of, like, box.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it.
Yeah, right, no.
Actually.
Look, we've dealt with adventurers before. We know how you people, we know how you do and you get on. As long as you didn't steal from anyone I know, whatever.
We did not steal from anyone.
I'm right, sorry, as long as you didn't acquire through various means.
Kiki just goes, tried to, because she was fine.
Thank you. Thank you, Kenku. No need for pretensions here, folks. If the guards fight with it, so are we. So do you folks pay him?
I'm going to pay him the half, yeah.
So it's $750 per person, so you would owe him... Math.
$375.
Carry the one.
My father's an accountant. He'd be furious with me. I didn't do that in my head faster.
If D&D hasn't taught you math, then I mean...
I'm very good at adding dice together.
Roll 20 does the math for me.
That is true.
You folks pay half. He goes, oh, right. So we'll be leaving in we were giving you 5 days to see if you can come up with it, but here we are. Probably about 2 days is before we get all this delivered and we head out.
Sounds reasonable. Is there anything that we need to acquire? I know you mentioned providing a good deal of what's necessary.
Nah, we'll feed you. If you want luxuries, though, booze and tobacco, pipe weed, things like that, we don't do that. It's basic necessities, right? We'll fill you up and you can relieve yourselves as you see fit with all your normal bodily functions, place to sleep, mostly guaranteeing your safety as long as you don't do nothing stupid. Yeah. It's going to be fairly lean traveling food, a lot of grilling, a lot of like good solid breads. But if you're looking for the nicer things, you might want to pick that up for yourselves.
Thank you for the heads up. We appreciate that.
No problem. Yeah, just meet us at the Western Gate, and you'll know us when you see us. And there's a very shit-eating grin on his mouth when he says that. You'll be able to find us real easy.
How early do you intend to leave?
We'll be leaving at probably dawn in about 2 days. Yeah, okay. Dawn. Do not want to hit those sands at high noon. That's not a great time.
I would imagine not, no.
Right then, folks.
Right.
Lovely doing business with you. And the dwarf, he shakes hands, he bows. Everyone make an insight check, please. First
roll.
First roll of the night. Let's see how it goes. 19 for...
6.
It's also 25. I roll with advantage, Scoot.
Right. So we have a...
19.
Okay. Everybody but Tessa and Nick, notice the dwarf's eyes lingering on Nick a bit.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And a little...
Does the dwarf have pants?
He does. He's wearing pants.
Wait, Scoot,
What
I
about
thought...
a kilt?
Are these... You've been giving him a Scottish accent. I'd kind of assumed just kills.
No.
Yeah.
He's wearing pants. He's going to a desert. He's wearing pants.
I mean,
Wait, are kilts bad? Oh, do I have to have pants? Fucker.
It says on the invitation.
No, let's focus on this. We're mission drift. Okay,
You
so
got
he
time to
likes
buy
the
pants.
cut of Nick's.
Yeah,
He
and
likes the cut of Nick's jib.
Does Nick like the cut of his jib? I know I don't like the cut of his pants, but otherwise.
right. Let's see.
You'd like to cut his
flattering
pants.
at all.
Nick would like to cut his
So
pants.
he's looking at him. Well, Nick doesn't notice this, but the rest of you would. This gentleman is very much a weathered ranger. Very not pretty, but like sort of like laborer kind of jacked.
Daddy?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the word you're looking for. Daddy.
Looking for his daddy. Pretty grizzled, seems to know what he's doing. Very in command. Probably has a firm yet gentle hand. So I don't know. Like, look, up to you. This is now where Nick gets to decide what Nick likes.
Well, no, wait. It actually depends if someone tells.
Yeah, because Nick and Tessa have not noticed this. Everyone else has very clearly
no
noticed
idea.
this.
On brand.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, honestly, for both of us.
Yeah,
Right.
Tessa, you smell. Oh, there is some meat cooking somewhere, and it smells delicious. And Nick, there is a surprising amount of arcane implements around here for like a sort of run-of-the-mill market. The rest of you, though, very clearly see this dwarf sort of ogling, not too much, but definitely giving Nick an up and down as he walks away with his coin purse now full.
Wait, so with Kiki's 11, she noticed? Is that obvious?
You needed a 10.
Oh, good lord.
It's like low grade.
You needed a 10,
that's
and
pretty
Kiki hit it.
Par for course.
Kiki's probably staring at him because he's holding what she still believes to be her coins.
Yeah, she wasn't purposely like not letting go of her coin purse, but like it was a little bit of those like tug of war. It's like she put it out to pay him. She's like, here it is, but like she's never spent so much money at once. Doesn't matter. She's never spent that much money. She never had that much money nor spent it once. So she's having a little bit of not buyer's remorse, but just sort of sticker shock still, I guess.
Just, yeah. Oh boy.
Kiki's got a little bit of dragon fever.
Well, maybe because she didn't grow up with much, and she wants money to build things. That's the main thing. So she'd probably look from the dwarf, like to the dwarf, and to Nick, and to the dwarf. She'd give the dwarf up and down. He's like confirmed pants. So she's probably like doing she's probably doing a calculation about Nick's potential interest.
Nick's like,
and she's like -2. Okay, seasoned daddy. Okay, don't know data. Lacking, and she would just probably tug on
Is Kiki writing like the Match.com algorithm in the dirt right now?
Kind of. Cupid. Okay, Cupid.
Yeah.
She's doing the fantasy version.
Pants?
yes,
Yeah,
right?
0, that's easy. It's a constant.
She doesn't know a lot about Nick. She just knows that he kind of might sleep with anything that moves. She's not sure. She doesn't have enough data points for that, but she
Look, viewers, I don't want to
getting
imply
there.
that Nick is a man whore. So I'm just going to say it outright.
Yeah, okay.
So Neva and Roscoe, it is extremely fucking clear to you of what is going on.
So does Neva think that Nick would be interested in him?
That is not for me to particularly decide. We're moving out of the DM's territory.
Do we have to roll it? Do we have to roll an insight into
I mean,
Nick's-
I can also insight Nick to see if like
You've got lots of that. I don't think you need to roll anything. It's not. It wouldn't be like. So, given the little that we know about him, it certainly wouldn't be a surefire thing. You do kind of have the gist that there's pretty much always a chance, unless they prove themselves to just be like a gross person to be around.
I'll tell you.
It's never a no. That doesn't mean it's a yes, but it's very rarely a no.
Yeah. It's certainly not a hard yes.
Yeah.
It's a very he has a very different sort of outward persona than the people that you've seen Nick be openly interested in the past few weeks.
Neva's gonna leave it be then.
Oh, Kiki won't. She's gonna use Messenger, and she's gonna finger gun Nick, and she's just gonna like zap him with some like.
She's not the only one.
Right? She's just gonna be like some like love lyrics because that's all the way she can like figure out. But then she'll be like with a head nod, kind of like nod to the direction of the
Nick,
dwarf.
make
It's,
a
like, not me.
perception check.
Oh dear.
Let's see how this goes, and if he's just gonna get some very mixed messages from Kiki.
Oh dear.
Oh my.
A 19.
With a
Okay.
19 is you're looking at Kiki as Kiki finger guns you the magic, and you're like, this is a new thing for Kiki to be doing to show interest in me. And then you see the head nods and you clock into the dwarf. And you're now aware of the message that Kiki is trying to give to you.
Okay.
Because her head nod is not subtle, by the way. It looks like she actually kind of has like a shoulder spasm or something. She's like, this is her first time, by the way, being a wingman. pun intended.
Oh.
And then she
I appreciate that you intended the pun. I respect it. I respect the choice.
double face palm. For the listeners, this is a treasured moment when our beloved dungeon master does either
it only
single
took,
or
what?
double face palm.
That's
30
50
minutes.
minutes. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
50.
I think Nick's not going to do very much about it right now, but he will. He'll keep an eye out for to see if the dwarf is, gives me another once over, or is, see how the dwarf wants to lay the place settings when we get to our first big meal together. If I end up
Lay something.
just happening to be next to him, if he shows continued interest, I'll make a call at that point, I think.
Okay. You folks now have roughly 2 days of in-game time to do as you wish, because you're in the city for that long until you head out to the Trisands. So is there anything anyone would like to particularly do besides kind of getting the normal accoutrement of getting some better stuff? So Roscoe has his hand up. Roscoe, what would you like to do? What manner of devices are you buying this time?
I have a small shopping list.
Okay.
I would like to buy a bottle of white rum.
Okay.
I would like to buy 4 rat traps. I'm picturing just regular wood and spring mouse traps,
yeah.
but the bigger, stockier version for a rat.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 rat traps.
Are you
A
making
jar of
Mousetrap
molasses?
the game slowly, or are you?
No, what are you talking about?
Okay, I'm curious. It popped in my head for no reason. I'm sorry. Continue.
Where am I?
Are you?
Jar of molasses, and then those wooden craft whistles that sound like a train, children's whistles, train whistle. I would like to find or try to fashion one of those.
Okay. You can find all
Kiki
those
wants-
things in this city.
No,
Kiki wants to do
I
an
think you're
inside
done right
check
now.
that Roscoe is secretly Ariel the Little Mermaid because of his collecting all these gizmos and stuff.
So Kiki,
Aren't they
Look at
me?
this stuff.
let's do this. Make an insight check. We'll see.
Debs was lighting up.
Kiki rolled a non-natural 20. She
Okay.
wants to find out he's secretly collecting stuff in his underwater cavern.
Kiki is trying to see if you are a little mermaid collecting random accoutrement and garbage. She rolled a 20 on an
Non-nat-
insight check, not
non-natural
20.
Should I accept the 20, or is this something I would be able to make a deception roll for?
You can make a
Or a
deception
persuasion
roll.
roll?
You can
Or-
do either, whatever you would
just-
prefer.
It will bring down the stat bonus, but I'm just going to do a charisma check so as to not reveal if it's persuasion or deception.
Okay.
Does that sound
Because you've
fair?
only ever said you're half angel, right? Or half Asimir, so I'm wondering if the other half is mermaid. This is my theory.
That's a good,
interesting theory. And I am full Asmore, but it's a good
Oh,
theory.
you are? Okay. I thought you were half service.
That's a critical fail. Kiki catches you red-handed storing away all of your random stuff.
I mean, Kiki appreciates that, mind you. You never know when you have a need for stuff.
This is nature of doing this online. Would it be? Is anybody else looking, or does anybody? I mean,
I'm
it's
gonna
a
say
critical
Kiki's
fail
the only
on
one
my end.
that was bothering to look as everyone else is out and about. Nick is getting reagents.
I'm at the library, yeah.
Yeah, rip. I'm
Okay.
sure Tessa's eating something somewhere.
Or sparring.
Would it be appropriate, because this is not necessarily a short thing, but would it be appropriate to just message Randall?
Yeah, that's fine.
Or the other
Okay.
3 of us deafen ourselves, if it's interesting for the listeners?
It won't be yet.
Okay.
Yeah, message Kiki later privately. We'll go from there.
Okay.
All right,
That's okay.
but I'll dish. I'll dish.
Dish,
Okay.
bitch.
I'm excited.
Yep. So does anyone? So Roscoe has gone out to buy things. Kiki has caught him doing something. Next to the library, Tessa is sparring, and Neva, what are you up to?
Buying pipe weed.
Cool. Which is super legal here. So you just walk into a shop and get some. Tessa, while you are sparring,
Tobacco. She's also getting some non-wacky tobacco.
yeah, whatever. Look, I'm not your dad. I missed your head in the sky. That's fine.
Pipes are awesome, just FYI.
Yeah,
Yes.
pipes are cool.
Eva has a pipe.
So there's a bunch of training grounds over here. There's some that are strictly for the military, and some that are just for like anyone that wants to rock up and do it. As you're there, though, make a perception check for me.
My obviously strongest stat.
So strong like your
It's
muscles.
not really. I got a 7 total. So there's that.
You don't see as a dog comes flying through the air and hits you in the face.
Just a random describe this dog.
So
Is it a massive dog or is it a tiny dog?
no, it's like a tiny dog. It's probably a puppy though, as it has leapt from somewhere and just sort of landed in your face. And having grown up around many, many dogs that have done this in the past, you instinctively wrap it up and like bring yourself to the ground as it looks scared for a second, realizes you, and then begins assaulting your face with its tongue.
Well, hello there.
Um,
Where did you come from, little guy?
so down from the sky descends a tiefling with wings.
Do I know this tiefling with wings? Are they part of my family?
Am I related to them?
While your family is large,
Not all tieflings know each other, Deb.
Well, not a lot of tieflings have wings, though. That's a very distinct quality in my family line.
this one doesn't. You've never seen this gentleman before, and he is he's pretty tall, but he's not as swole as you are. And he's like, Bosco, no. And now that the dog is off your face, you can see it's like a chonker corgi.
Oh my God, Bosco.
Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry, says the gentleman, as he grabs the dog and kind of puts him. He like hooks him onto a pouch next to him, so it's sort of like a dog 6-shooter. And he puts his hand out to help you up.
Oh, thanks. No, I'm totally used to dogs. My family's got a ton of them.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
his name? Wait, no, you said it was Bosco.
Yeah, it's Bosco. Hi.
Is your name Bosco? Or the dog's name Bosco?
The dog's name is Bosco. Make an insight check, Tessa.
Also, another strong roll.
A 4.
I am on a roll tonight, guys.
Yeah. God, that dog is fucking cute. As he's now kind of just sitting there. He's so happy. He's sort of just hanging there off this guy's belt. Yeah. He goes, no. My name is Thrax. As he tries to lift you up, but turns out he's not strong enough to do that without your help.
Oh no, I got it. It's fine.
Yeah,
I just kind of hoist myself up.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I was just was here getting some shots in before I head out of town for a while.
I'm still looking at the dog.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Oh,
Is he eating his feet?
he's trying. He does that as the dog. He's just hungry, but he's always hungry. So yeah.
Because it's got like those anime heart eyes looking at this dog.
I could picture it.
Do you want to? So he puts he puts the dog down, and the dog comes running up to you and begins doing stupid dog things, like sniffing you. And he runs over to another part of the place and pees, and comes back. And he flops over on his back for tummy rubs.
I definitely give him tummy scritches, and I've been stocking up on a lot of like dried meats for the journey, so I do give him a little bit of jerky from my pouch.
He will eat until he vomits if you let him.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, sorry. I didn't get your name.
Oh, Tessa. And I hold out my hand to shake his hand.
Yeah, you grab his hand, and he's not weak. He's not Nick, but he is not strong.
Hey,
Wow.
Damn.
he's right. But he didn't need to be that loud about it.
You gotta come right here.
Need some aloe for that burn.
Yep, and you can see that this gentleman has two. There are two like scimitars on his hips, and a very intricate longbow on his that he put over himself very briefly as he went running after his dog.
Oh, are you a fighter? Nice weapons.
Thank you. No, I'm more of I range a lot more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm also like
So shoot from a distance.
Yeah. I find it's better, although I can do some damage, and he pats the swords in his side to go, although I'd like to think I'm a musician, but I'm not very good, he says.
Does he have an instrument on him?
He does. He has a guitar on his. Look over, and he has a pack of stuff, and there's a guitar, as well as a banjo, kind of sitting off to the side of this training area, over by the shooting gallery.
That's not the right attitude to have. Let's hear it.
Okay. Can you watch Bosco for a bit then?
Can I?
Yeah, Bosco has this. I'm sure you've picked him up. Has just assed out, fallen asleep in your arms.
That's where he lives now. This is my dog.
My dog.
I'm still his dog. This is mine now.
Yep. So Thrax walks over to his guitar, and he begins playing. And since he didn't critical fail, it's not Wonderwall.
Is it Freebird?
No, it is a. It is a song from the Folklands that you've heard before amongst the rat folk. It's a ballad about a young man's journey to this city, having been warned not to take his weapons, and then things do not go well for him, as his mother had reminded him, don't take your club to town.
Cute.
Mm-hmm.
Does this song have a name?
Is it a copyrighted name?
It is a homage to Johnny Cash, if that's what you're thinking.
I was just trying to figure out if you'd made up a pun name or not.
No, just I like Johnny Cash. He has many good songs.
So
fair.
he's decent then. So
Yeah, no,
I'll
he
say, hey, you're
sounds
not
really
bad.
good, and that's like one of the better renditions of that song you've heard. Like just somebody play, because he rolled pretty high in his performance.
Is he a rockabilly tiefling? Because I'm here for this.
Oh my god! Well, he is now.
100% here for this.
He's not far from it, but he's maybe a fantasy version of it.
I'm gonna Google that real quick.
I'm sure it's somewhere on Tumblr.
I'm sure.
What is it?
Is it a subclass of bard?
Rockabilly.
A Bard
So-
Ranger.
Yeah, so it's good. He's pretty good. How much does Tessa know about music?
Well, so she's a little far removed from Musa, but I think she has seen enough musical performances in Anshin and on Ball, but not to the extent of a place like Musa where music is their life. But I would say she's just familiar with music. She likes music.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's pretty good for just a guy randomly doing this.
I clap, but I also have the corgi in my arms, so I'm trying to clap around his pudgy little body.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm. Are you in town for a while, or?
Well, we're here for the next couple days. Me and my group are going to head out to the Trisands in a little bit. Gotta do some questing.
How are you getting out there?
Oh, there's a pack of doors. I think his name was Gertie. Is the name right?
I don't know if Tessa would know.
That was the name, yes.
Okay. I think I might have been there for that conversation. person. Anyway, but yeah. He's taken a bunch of us out in a couple days.
He Will, we can hear you typing if you're typing.
Oh shit!
It's fine.
Super secret things we're not supposed to know about.
Yep. So secrets. He goes, yeah, no, I'm working for him. I'll be on his boat, and as will Bosco.
Tessa's trying to like piece this together of why you would possibly need a boat for the desert, and she looks very confused.
I'm picturing her doing like the thing that dogs do when they're confused, is like head tilted sideways, and like Bosco is trying to figure out why she's confused, and his head is also tilted sideways.
And they're just doing that thing where they go back and forth.
Like a boat, but we're gonna be on land. There's no water there.
Oh, you'll see it'll make sense when you see it. It'll be easy. I don't know how to explain it.
Second time I've heard that.
Okay. Well, I gotta go. I gotta get Bosco to see a veterinarian before we head out.
Oh, is he okay?
Yeah, he needs a different kind of collar because it's gonna be real hot in the Trisands, and he's not really built for the heat.
I kind of hold him up, and he's like this little derpy chunk. I'm like, nah, that's fair. I kind of hand him back.
Yeah. Plus,
begrudgingly.
He likes to eat things he shouldn't eat. Isn't that right, Bosco? And he just goes. Bleh!
I mean, don't we all?
Yeah, well, Tessa, it was very nice seeing you, and I hope I can see you again. As he packs up his stuff and waves, and then he waves Bosco's hand, and he walks away.
Also, just for the audience, folks, Tessa is a dumb anime girl, so just a heads up on that.
And the rolls.
I just love the visual of him being like, yeah, you know, sometimes we eat stuff that we shouldn't. Tessa's like, God, yeah. Just like the slow zoom out, like
this moment of true connection with this dog, as it's probably like trying to bite her armor to see if he can eat it.
Yeah, I bet he would get along great with apples.
Probably.
Oh,
I'm terrified of how we get along with apples.
Just picturing them chasing a garbage cart together with like the dog.
Wait, you said he had wings, right?
The tiefling did, not the dog.
I'm picturing like a slow motion montage of them chasing like a garbage truck, like I can't see me loving nobody but you is playing in the background. Me and you and you and me. No matter how you toss the dice, we're meant to be.
oh yes.
So, Nick, anything in particular just like brushing up the library, anything you're looking for?
Yeah, I'm going to check how many dollars of spell copying materials I have left.
Mm-hmm.
I have 150 GP, so I'm going to get that much worth of... Well, can I get back into the student section? I don't think I ever gave that other student's robe back.
No, you stole it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really, all you'd need to do to get back in there is put on your robe and wizard hat.
Do you don your robe and wizard hat?
She's right, isn't she? I put on my robe and wizard hat.
Okay. Yeah, you walk in to the collegia, and they don't notice you as you resume your visage of like, you know, tired undergrad or freaking out undergrad, whatever the flavor of the day is for Nick. As you
flattened graduate student, I believe.
Oh, okay. As you walk through just fine, they don't, they kind of give you an up and down and wave you as you go in.
If the person who was at the desk the other day is there, I'll like give her a very half-hearted wave as I go past.
Mm-hmm. That same graduate student is yelling at her, and they are fighting it again today.
Oh no. Mm. Cool. So I'll spend another probably 6 hours, depending on what spells I end up with. Mm. Just snag some spells from there, and then head back out.
Okay. Kiki, Roscoe, anything besides your discussion that you've had?
Kiki would just make sure she's like topped off on like her medals and alchemist fire and parchment. So just like
those are
for her basic. Yeah, basic.
Yep, this city has plenty of those things, so you're able to very easily procure them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do a once over to check and see. I don't think I have a ton of stuff that has like material components anyway.
Mhm.
But I'll do a once over for that. But other than that, nothing.
Maybe some like health pots just in case. Like we have the money, we might as well pick up a couple.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get a couple of health pots for me.
Okay, we'll take care of that shopping.
Yeah,
When we stop
we'll do that
recording.
later.
Okay, so the time passes. You folks have your 2 days, and then you head to the western gate of the city. You're there very early in the morning, as I know Neva's up. Tessa will be up. I don't know if Kiki went to bed, to be very honest.
I think she probably was up late studying her new schematics
Mm.
for the things she got. So, I mean, not like crazy late, but this would not be. She's got a variable sleep schedule. Today would be, she'd be more of a late riser.
Okay. But Neva, you do herd your, in theory, children as you bring them towards the gate. And it's very early, and the gates have just opened. As you can see, a cart with a lot of supplies is rolling behind you, carried by a couple of draft animals. And you see, as you get a little, about probably half mile away from the gate, you see a boat just sort of sitting on the ground. It's righted and it's sitting properly, but it does have it looks like a sloop with 2 extensions, kind of like one of those biplanes that can be in the water, or a like those boats from Moana. I'm not thinking of the right ones that have like the stabilizers on the side. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the pontoons.
Yeah. So
Oh,
they're
no, you're thinking of the canoes.
yeah, they have
So
those
this is like a stand
Outriggers,
right?
outrigger canoes.
Yeah. So this is as soon as Nick sees it, Nick knows exactly what this is because you've seen a lot of them. This is a sand skiff. These are boats that
Neat.
are magical and move over land, but use land okay, like roughly the same speed as like a cart would be, but they cut through sand like it's water.
Very cool.
Hmm?
So have I seen these like traders coming into Ventos?
Yeah, you've seen these folks use things. If you're not using the ring road around the continent, like if you're going down to Ibaracum, then you would use a sand skiff because
Got it.
traveling in foot is not. These are not that fast on like regular terrain, and they can't really go in the mountains. But on sand, they move like boats through water.
Cool.
I'm finally putting it together now. Like, oh, whoa. Right.
Do I know enough about, between my at least cursory knowledge of sand skiffs and my much more extensive knowledge of actual skiffs, like water skiffs, boats? I grew up on the docks. Can I tell if these are nice or if they're like well maintained or like anything like that?
So it's not only is it well maintained, it's well armored. Like this is probably made to take a couple of hits before it breaks down.
I let out a low whistle, which I'm not going to try and do for fear of peaking my microphone.
Yeah, because you can see where this thing has been banged up and patched, but very expertly patched, like reinforced.
I'll nudge who am I sitting next to. Probably will. I'll nudge and be like, "Damn, look at that." Or probably Roscoe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which name I said.
Good
That boat's been through a fair bit.
And ready for more. I have you ever done this? Have you ever done sand skiff? This is not something.
Have I ever done Sandskiff, Scoot?
Was it a verb? Is it
I would say probably not.
No, if you
skiffing?
I've definitely actual sailed, but I probably wouldn't have ever sand sailed personally.
yeah, because using a sand skiff means you're heading into the inlands of Shantha, which means probably dealing with one of the variants of Thrykeen, which is not a thing you really want to be doing down there.
Not typically, yeah.
No.
Okay. No, I've never sand skiffed. I've boated, I suppose.
Sailed?
Yeah.
Tessa's the one offering the correction there.
From like the row behind us, like, yeah.
Essentially, then boated. Nerd.
As you're all having this argument, you hear a very high-pitched bark
Oh my god.
as this small corgi pup comes bolting into Tessa and begins hopping on her leg to be picked up.
I pick him up. I'm like, "Hello, Bosco." I give him tummy stitches.
And he starts gnawing at your hair, as puppies are wont to do.
Friend of yours?
Anime heart eyes. So
Yep.
yeah, I continue to play with this puppy.
Yep, and as that happens, you folks, as another winged tiefling drops down from one of the higher portions of the ship. Oh, Tessa! Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Everyone that is not Tessa, make me an insight check, please.
I'm gonna need to get my cat to move off my mouse first.
It doesn't matter if I do an insight check, so you know that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, and there's a dog, so...
11. Not great.
22 for Neva.
23.
Roscoe rocking it.
Eh,
Once again, Roscoe and Neva notice this a little bit more of a timid young tiefling, probably around Tessa's age. Is
Tessa is 22.
yeah, he's around that age, early 20s. Is very much. Wait, what did you guys get? You got a 22 and a 23, so. Everyone kind of sees him like he's trying to play it super cool, but to Roscoe and Neva, you can hear the
Hey, Twitter pated.
yeah. He's definitely trying to get her to
Great
Senpai
word.
to notice him,
Aww.
but he's not he's Twitter pated, but he's not falling over himself quite yet.
So Neva is actually going to hold on to this and plan to say something to her a little bit later, like when they have a moment of privacy.
Mhm.
She didn't say anything to Nick because, from what she's observed, Nick is more than capable of noticing such things for himself and deciding them.
Eventually.
However, that Tessa is a little more oblivious, and may not notice unless it is pointed out to her. So she will make sure that Tessa knows, so she can make a decision with full information.
Yeah,
Laura is face palming right now. Up in
and
Celestia.
Roscoe, he's pulling the puppy dog, like the literal puppy dog routine, but what he
Yeah.
didn't account for is that Tessa really does love that dog more than anything in the current area right now. So
It's like a love
Roscoe-
triangle happening.
Roscoe has, and I didn't say it, but it's what he also did, seeing the interaction between the dwarf and Nicholas. Roscoe has like a very standard people being cute or trying to be cute with each other smirk. And it's like right on that line. It's like right on that line where like people who don't know Roscoe would see it and be like, well, this asshole's making fun of me. And people who do know Roscoe are like, oh, he thinks that's cute. And he does think it's cute, but he's like a little smirky about it. So I don't say anything, but just the flirty smirk is back. Just like, oh, these kids.
eventually the dwarf comes out and yells at you folks to come on, get on the boat. They'll be leaving as soon as they're packed. As you can see, there are small cranes which are lifting the supplies onto the boat. You think that this is normally used to like stack things on carts or get things on top of larger beast of burden than the Gax. And eventually, after you folks get settled in, there are in this sloop. There's enough room for you folks to sleep for the evening, as the crew seem to be are going to take things in shifts. They're going to hot bunk it. But there is a place. It's kind of a bigger common room you're all going to be in. But he makes sure you're settled in, and then he informs you they'll be departing shortly, like probably within the hour. If there's not anything else that you need to do.
Were we able to bring our Gax? Are they coming?
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Yes, they will put them down in the hold.
We're going to be able to bring our Gax, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
they load them with the cargo, so they're just sort of. Apples is fucking fine. He doesn't give a shit. He's just happy to be in. He's happy to be anywhere. Although your other two Gax are a little wary because they're more aware of we're inside a boat and.
That's
Yeah.
exactly why I asked, because during the loading, I think I would take, because like
We would
Nicholas,
sit down with
Ross,
him and kind of explain
yeah,
what's going on and why they're in this place and where we're going to be going, and trying to like reassure them with, we're going to a place where there's lots of sand, like you're used to.
Yeah, they can't understand me, but I'm just kind of there stroking Maxie as well.
Yep.
Just being like, okay.
So Apples looks at you, Neva, and he's just like, eating sand? Like sand I can eat?
No, you cannot eat the sand.
He's very sad.
Oh, poor little apples. I'm
He's
gonna.
do it anyway.
There will
Yeah.
absolutely be other things that you can eat, just not the sand.
That tastes so good.
But he's a sand gack now.
Little
He
Pika
kind of
gag.
is there.
As you folks are settling into your room, though, Thrax does come over and he knocks on the door. He goes, "Hi, is Tessa here?"
Why?
Yeah, I
Is
mean,
it like a communal room or like?
yeah, you folks are in basically a communal room that has. You have
Bedrolls and stuff?
there's like it's basically bedrolls. There is a privy, if you will, like a bathroom, not like a full like shower thing, but someplace you can relieve yourself and kind of wash up. But this is a place where passengers go, but you've how folks have a feeling they don't get a whole lot of like sightseeing passengers, so it's not like it is serviceable, but it is not overly comfortable.
Do I still have Bosco? Like, did I just walk away with him?
Yeah, I'm gonna say you did because Thrax has been busy doing shit on this ship. Yeah,
9/10 of the law. It's like, by now.
so Thrax is knocking on the door, and I probably Kiki's in that room along with Nick, as Roscoe and Neva are attending to the Gax.
I'll probably be in there too. Just getting.
Yeah, and you hear the knocking.
settled. I'll open the door.
Okay. Oh, hey Tessa. Have you seen Bosk? Oh, there he is. And
He's definitely just still in my arms. Oh, right. He does not belong here. Sorry.
well, I was gonna ask,
I
can you watch him? So I gotta take the first shift up top. So can you? I mean, normally he's fine. He gets on my ring pouch, but I gotta. I'm gonna be up in the rigging, so I don't know if you could watch him.
Yep, no problem. I'll take good care of him.
Oh, thank you. And he, it's like Tessa closes the door. Nick, you and Kiki see him trying to like do more conversation. She's like, "Okay, bye," and then closes the door on him and puts all the attention back on the dog, who is just thrilled to be pet.
More conversation.
I'm real oblivious, guys. I rolled super shitty.
Yep. So Roscoe, you and Neva come back, and you see this bewinged tiefling, just sort of like going over. He looks distraught, definitely going over to something in his mind as he walks past you to take care of whatever his duties are of the day.
Well, when we get inside, I will take Tessa aside for a second and say, you do know that young tiefling gentleman? He's interested in you, yes?
Well, I mean, I'm a pretty interesting gal. I mean, you guys are
I mean-
interested in me, right?
I think he thinks you're pretty.
Hey, Will face palmed.
Tessa, he thinks you're pretty and maybe interested in you in the alluring kind of way?
And she stops and she does like that thinking emoji for a moment.
Then the dog starts licking you.
And I'm just like, nah, we just met.
And?
Like, yeah. I'm just, she's just kind of playing it off. She hasn't really considered this as an option because dog and she's Tessa.
Would just having met him prevent him from being interested in you that way?
No, I suppose not. Are you
You don't-
sure?
And you don't have to be interested in him just because he's interested in you, but I wanted to make sure that you knew so you could decide accordingly.
He is kind of cute.
And he does have an excellent dog.
Yes, very excellent dog. And I'm still holding the corgi.
Boof, says the dog.
Kiki does a minor illusion and sends little hearts like hovering over Tessa, but I'm not sure Tessa would attribute it to the dog or not. So she might just
Probably
think,
the
yeah.
Neva
Kiki's trying to say.
would ask the dog, kind of just like with the speak with animals trait that she has.
Mm-hmm.
Like getting a sense of like, is your master a good master? Is he a kind person?
The dog is asleep.
Okay.
It is
Curse
just
you,
fully passed
sleeping
out
dog.
in Tessa's hands. Its head is. If you see this picture of the dogs, where somebody has it on their lap, but it's like right in between their legs, and Tessa's just massaging him, and he's just out. Yeah, he's Melman.
Elsewhere, Alora sighs. In disappointment.
I think that's the name of the session.
Look, Alora would also be delighted by your love and caring for this pet. There is
Obviously,
that.
yes. The love between a person and a dog is unparalleled.
It is a pure and good love.
It's a pure and good thing.
Time rolls on. First day goes by. No incidents.
No, I'm gonna find Roscoe tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
It's easy because you're all in the same room.
well, yes, but I'm going to move to his side of the room, I suppose.
Roscoe, do you have pants on? This is important for context.
Well, I've gone away from the typical because this is the first time you've ever seen me with pants on.
I'm coming over to
I've
tell
been
you
killed-
stop that. No, I'm kidding.
I've been killed boy up to this point.
Yeah. Hey, kind of a weird question. I've never asked. I don't know if this is rude. Can you see in the dark?
I can.
God,
Why
Nick,
would
you
that
can't
be
just
rude?
ask people that.
Oh my god, Cal, you can't just ask people if they see in the dark.
Nick's trying to like. Let me try and stammer through it in character. Actually,
Yes.
you asked why would that be rude?
Yeah. Is
Okay.
that bad?
Well, you don't normally have your wings out, so I didn't know if you didn't.
Do
wanna
I
be
have the
seen
juice
as
all the time?
Asimar, do you have? Yeah, I don't. It just seems like a weird thing to ask. I don't know, man.
That's fair. And to be honest, the very few other SMR I've run into in my time skew slightly ashamed of their parents, to be honest. But that's not me. Dad and I got along great. Raised by a single dad, but he did a great job. We're very close. So I got no problem with him. And I'm very proud of where I came from. Angels in general
Nick raises an eyebrow.
are my dad and I get along great. I'm very proud of where I came from.
Huh. All right. Thanks. Sorry to
No,
bring that up, I guess.
it is weird that this is probably the longest. It is. I'm sure it is. This is the longest I've ever gone without seeing him or talking to him. So I like talking about it. Any questions you've got about that are fair game. I'm down.
Well, why is it
Nick, let
been
me
so
put
long?
it this way. Well, because almost any time is going to be the longest it's ever been because there haven't been that many gaps. We've basically been side by side buddies since as far back as I can remember when I was little.
Scoot, I have a question for the DM. Was Nick in the room when the Priestess of Saloon was making some, not like snide comments, but like some allusions to failures or shortcomings or something along those lines of Nick's dad? Or of
Yeah, I believe she was talking to Roscoe about those things, about how the sins of the father do not fly on the son.
Yeah, what I
I
have been
think people
around at
were
all.
around. I think people were around in general. I don't know if there was anybody specifically not there, but
Okay.
I'm having a memory that people were at least could have been in earshot.
I remember picturing the room really clearly, but I don't know if it's because I was there because I was interested in the story. Okay. Well, assuming I was there, I guess we can just retcon this into the ether if we need to in the future.
You were there.
All right, fantastic.
So you're
Hey.
gonna assume that you were in the room when it happened?
The room where it happened.
The room where it happened?
It's just, I don't know, that Priestess of Saloon was, I really don't mean to pry, but like she was something about sins of the father.
You're not prying. I mean it. It's all fair game. I'm the kind of person who I'll answer any question if you've got the balls to ask it out loud. And I think
Well, what
you
happened?
would probably. So you might have heard her refer to my dad and an aside mentioning that I might have a small share in this title of the Way Watcher.
There was a lot of memeing about this title in the off-topic channel, if I recall correctly. But yes, Nick nods and does not take place in any memeing because there's no big diet brand with names dieting brands with names similar to that in this universe.
So my dad's role for a couple thousand years in his place as an angel of Saloon was specifically to guard people who were going to be important to history as they traveled through a dangerous place. And that most often meant ships crossing through storms when one of the passengers was important to fate.
Okay, makes sense.
And he had a pretty good record of 100% of the people under his charge got to where they needed to be. They came through the passage, came through the storm, and went on to do whatever it was they were meant to do. Good or bad. They were just important to the strands of fate. Until about 20... No, God, I'm 27, so it would have had to be 32 roughly years ago. He lost one. And
Nick puts out a long, slow breath, which I did, and my noise gate got rid of it.
And Saloon isn't vengeful. She's not petty, but she is. The storm is a cold justice, Dad would say sometimes. And Dad owed a debt. That was his job. So he was exiled until he can get history, get that strand of fate back in place, patch the tapestry. Unfortunately, it's a boat full of people that went down in a moment when he couldn't see it. And as you imagine, an angel who looks through storms has pretty good sight. It was out of his eye for a moment. It went down, and we don't know who on that boat was the person who was supposed to be important. We don't know what they were supposed to do. We just know that was the one he was supposed to protect. So, yeah. So there's not a lot on the other end of that, and that's where Dad is. That's why we've kind of gone our separate ways. Is he put that effort on hold to raise me. He put his redemption on hold to raise me by himself. Mom wasn't in the picture after I was born, and now he's back on his own quest. I don't even actually know where he is or what he's up to, but that's us.
Sounds like you got dealt a pretty raw deal there. You said 1,000 years?
Oh yeah,
You'd
my
right
dad
by
is
them?
old as fuck.
Shit. God, that's. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, Dad and I have different. Thank you. Dad and I have different opinions about what's going on. I'm pretty sure there was some sort of foul play. I don't know how you trip after 1,000 years. The way he describes it, it wasn't a storm that was anything special. It was a great crew. It was a good boat. He knows the kind of sea beasts and things like that could have been involved, and that doesn't seem to be what happened as far as he can tell. And I think there was another angel. I think he was betrayed. But he doesn't like to think that and doesn't follow those threads. So maybe somewhere down the line, once I got a little bit more juice, I'm going to pull at those threads myself, but not yet.
I've got another aside for the DM. If his dad has been protecting ships for 1,000 years, is this like? Have I heard stories about his dad from sailors at port?
Not
Is that is that like? Is he a entity that people on the ship would be at all aware of?
not maybe him specifically. He's like an agent of those that protect ships. So it's sort of like saying, Neptune.
Okay, sure.
Protect
So
me.
plenty of like.
Yeah, there are a variety of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like people would be saying a prayer to say Loon,
Sure.
not to my dad.
Okay, I didn't know just how sainty the Church of Sailing is, if you will. Okay. Boy, yeah, it's fucking heavy.
What are you gonna do? A lot of people are worse off than me.
I guess. Damn. Well, thank you for telling me all that. Appreciate it. Nick's gonna just look sad and kind of head back to his bedroll. Look thoughtful.
In the still of the night, the dog farts, and it smells real bad.
Thanks for that.
Neva wakes up just enough to like crap. I'm a druid. I'm not a bardic invitation anymore. I'm thinking of Aaliyah. No prestidigitation after all.
Kiki casts prestidigitation, which for her is she pulls out a tiny little fan. And she winds it up like
I just
Little
picture her,
tiny
still
clockwork
asleep.
fan. Oh my god.
yeah, no, it's like
she's
kind of like when you
asleep, and she's just-
yeah, it's like when you hit the alarm clock and you're not awake. She kind of does that, but it's like a personal fan, so it only affects the area like around her.
I love
It's not so much getting rid of it, the smell, as giving it all to the person next to
Dispersing
her.
it. Yeah, dispersing it.
Can fairy fire just burn off the fart? Can we
You
do
can
that?
certainly try.
No.
I feel like as a college student, one fart smell's not going to wake Nick up, even though I could definitely solve this problem.
Yeah, no,
So
you're so used to this.
You guys would notice that Neva's never slept inside with you guys before.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys do notice, Roscoe would know, as you're falling asleep, there's kind of this like light scent of like jasmine and lavender.
And lemons when we wake up.
And lemons when you wake up. Lemons and rosemary when you wake up, yes.
That's
Oh
right.
my goodness. How large is this room?
Are you doing calculations?
Well, a dog fart.
Well, this derailed.
It's very potent. You're probably not like a. If to give you so think of like a 2-bedroom apartment, like the size like the living room.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty tight for all of us.
Yeah, especially since some of you are much larger than the others.
Like me, who's totally passed out and is used to the scent by now.
Yeah, the dog's just laying kind of on top of Tessa, and no matter how Tessa rolls, the dog remains like on top of Tessa, like sleeping on top of a mountain.
It smells real bad.
If anyone wants to wake Nick up, I could solve this, but
Neva will wake up a little bit, smell it, and kind of just intensify the scent that is coming off of her.
Febreze over a ranked shit. My favorite.
It's getting very college up in here.
Yeah. Morning.
The classic dorm smell of citrus.
Aw.
That's a point of inspiration.
Heard that. Oh, citrus.
Dawn comes.
I kind of wish I had never heard that word now.
Oh,
Yeah, now you can't unlearn it. Now that's in your brain
No, it's branded.
forever. That's been brought into your personal reality, as in everyone's.
Weird.
Dawn arrives, and there's a shaking noise. Sorry, not a shaking noise. There is no noise, and the boat is shaking. And you wake up, it's like, oh, it must be kind of early. And then it gets to that kind of quiet that most of you realize it shouldn't be. It's too quiet. There's nothing happening.
I'm gonna absent-mindedly prestidigitate the lingering smell
You're awake.
and pull on my robe and stick my head out.
Yeah, Kiki's really worried because
Nick may
there's a
be
machine.
squishy, but he's also very curious.
Yeah, Tessa's
Yeah,
also
Neva will also wake all the way up and poke her head out.
So there
Yeah,
is.
Kiki's like, there's a machine in distress. I have to help.
So there's a walkway to come up, but it's only enough for like you would have to walk single file. So who's coming up first?
Probably Mom, Nikki and Neva.
I was gonna say
Kiki
Nick would
be
start and
very
then see
close.
that Neva was moving purposefully towards the door and let her in front.
Right, so you go out the door, Neva, you go up the stairway that's there, and you see that the entirety of the crew is stopped moving. They're holding extremely still, and they are looking off of the port bow.
Are they do they appear to be frozen in place by some kind of magic, or do they appear to be holding still so as not to attract something's attention?
They're
I'm not above deck all the way yet, and I want to see which it is.
Yeah, so it's definitely the first one of they are a flight kit reflexes kicked in, and they've opted for freeze. As the skiff is very slowly moving under its own power, but everyone is just in the spots they were in, and some of them are in very awkward positions, like halfway up the rigging, and they are just, you can see some of them are white knuckling whatever they're holding on to as to not move.
I'm not going to ascend further then. I'm going to get Kiki, because I know she can send messenger, and tell her without poking her head above the deck. I want her to message one of them and ask them what's happening and can we help.
Right, so Kiki was planning on being right behind Neva, and so she would
Nick is going to
lean over to the side.
petulantly also do this.
I couldn't remember if Nick could do it or not. I will have them both do it then.
All right,
Tessa's
she'll,
gonna
she'll
go back to the room and make sure she gets her armor and weapon.
Make sure that
a
Bosco.
dog.
Robert doesn't feel slighted, but I think Nick does.
So Neva would remember that Nick can do that. Kate could not remember.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah. So,
Right, so
we'll send our message.
Kiki will,
Carlson.
Kiki will finger gun if she can reach the captain. Great. If not,
Yeah,
she'll-
you don't have a visual on the
for him.
captain, but you folks can see crew members as you message them, and they look at you because they've received the message, but they seem to be sort of used to the magic and sort of inherently understand how it works. And they tell you in a very scared voice that there is a Throck in the sand.
Does Neva know what a Throck is?
Make
whisper this. Does it have meaning?
Make a nature check.
Kiki will immediately follow up with, "What the fuck's a Throck?" Because I don't know that she would have it against
17.
13.
Rock check.
Throck check. So
Throck.
you've never heard of this particular thing before, Neva. Although you know that there's a number of creatures that can live within sand, and you're really pondering it as all of a sudden there's a shadow over the rising sun, and the entire boat is eclipsed as you see this very large fin come up next to the boat like a whale's, and then go back down under the sand.
Land shark.
Oh shit.
Kiki will turn around and, just to stay quiet, she'll message the rest of the group. Throck, big thing, sand. Sailor scared. That's
Yeah,
what she'll
Tessa's
message.
finishing up putting on her armor. She's got her shield and sword ready to go. She leaves Bosco in the room though for safety and goes to the rest of the group. All right, I'm ready. What are we fighting?
I don't know that this is a thing that we fight. This might be just a thing that we do not draw the attention of.
I would
I
like
think we
everyone
should defer to Kevin's judgment here.
to make me a stealth check, please.
Oh dear.
He was gonna quickly pass.
Oh,
Cast-
you don't have time for that.
Damn it.
I'm gonna luck it. 18.
Okay.
I got a
18. I'm pleased with that.
22.
Nice.
I'm
Good
rolling
job.
okay.
Rolling pretty good.
Except for my natural one before. I
Yeah.
burned it all in that one.
Critical for
Whoa.
Kiki. Nice.
Kiki turns invisible.
Yeah.
17.
Okay, I think we have everyone. What was yours, Nick?
18.
Yep, everyone. Good job. You folks have passed the group check as the
Nice.
beast. You see it go down into the sand. You feel the boat rise suddenly as if it hit a very large wave and come back down. And you see a large disturbance in the sand move further and further from you, moving away. After a few moments, the crew lets out a sigh and very slowly make sure they begin to move the boat slowly but efficiently the fuck away from the way that thing is going and towards like a very more roundabout direction to your destination. As everyone, after a few moments, they realize that it's not giving chase, they and then go very shakily back to their work.
Well, now I'm up.
We're
Who wants
gonna need a
breakfast?
bigger skiff.
Nice.
Anybody who's super close to Neva would notice that it now kind of smells like mint.
Why?
Because in terms of things that like give you adrenaline and get you ready to go, mint is up there.
Oh, okay.
Checks
And
out, yeah.
She's
Did you just-
very full of adrenaline right now. Having
Did
seen
you
the
just
fact that-
aromatherapy yourself?
No, that's just so that's what the flowers do. They react
Or are you aromatherapying us?
not on purpose. Again, that's what the flower. Okay, maybe with the sleep thing. But the rest of the time, that's just what the flowers
Just happen.
do. They react to what my body is doing. It's the consequence of having a somewhat humanoid endocrine system and a somewhat dry.
I guess in this case it'd be an exocrine system.
They'd know better.
Say that again. It's a what system?
Exocrine?
No. So she's not creating things. It's that she's got basically the external structure of a tree trying to meld with the internal structure of a human, and occasionally things like when adrenaline spikes, you smell mint.
Oh, I was like, is this her fear response? Is like,
Did Neva fear for it? Is that what happened? Does it smell like mint? The skiff moves, and that is the captain sort of comes over and goes, all right, well, that was fucking terrifying, and now you see why it costs so much to be out here on the sands.
Does that happen often?
I mean, more often than we'd like, less often than you think.
Are they aggressive?
No, the big bastards just sometimes don't know what they're going or don't know what they're chomping on. They're pretty docile, actually. They, they're just, this is where they live, and we're kind of, it's like coming across whales on the seas. However, if they're agitated or you attack them, then that's a real bad idea.
Okay. Fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
What do they eat?
Whatever they can get their little mouth, their large mouths on. I've seen one eat just a chunk of a mountain before.
Oh God! Nobody tell apples.
Huh.
Friend, mentor,
Nick,
mentor.
Teach me.
Senpai.
Senpai.
Nick pulls out his notebook and writes down a couple of notes to follow up on at the next library opportunity.
Mm-hmm. You folks continue on. Let's see how the day goes. Fairly well. It's very calm, very quiet, and you are invited to dine this night with the captain. Based on the invitation the crew gives you, the captain is doing this because he thinks he has to with passengers, and this is like a thing that like other ships' captains do. But it doesn't seem like this is a normal thing for him.
Interesting.
Mostly because your meal is done in like the back part of the boat under the open sky, and not like in a like set up eat like there is no table. It's basically just the normal food and plate and cutlery you've been using.
So he invited all of us to dinner, not just Nick.
He invited all of you to dinner.
Kiki asked the others if I know. Kiki's like, should we all bow out early? Be like, oh gosh, I'm so tired. No, you guys stay.
Bad idea.
She would check with Nick. She wouldn't do that on purpose without his permission. No, Kiki probably wouldn't.
No, Kiki would do whatever the hell Kiki wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, so you folks arrive. There seems to be the captain, the first mate, and that winged tiefling is sort of standing in the corner, playing some music, and crit! So he is really doing some good music over there. It's not prepared for him to crit. It's also weird not having a bard to give notes on, because a lot of the campaigns have had bards in the past, but like, as far as you folks know, like, he's singing pretty beautifully. I would like everyone. No, Neva will be able to get this. He's not being that subtle. He's singing at the table, but whenever he can, Neva, he's sort of focusing on Tessa when he can get away with it.
Can I roll a perception check or an insight check?
Yeah, roll whatever you'd like.
Because you've got a heads up at this point.
Yeah, roll
Yeah.
stuff.
Giving you a heads up. He thinks you're pretty and is into you.
Is that perception or insight?
It would be
That's both
perception
the
to notice it and insight to figure out what he's
11.
doing.
I mean, 11.
Yeah, I think Tessa has an inkling of what's going on.
I think at this point, if she's actually starting to understand what's going on, she's pretty pale, so her face is going to blush pretty severely because she's not used to this like at all. So she doesn't really quite know what to do. So she just kind of focuses on like food. Like, hey, is that a meat?
And as you begin eating, Tessa, you feel a very familiar scratching at your legs under the table.
Oh, I do give Basso some scraps.
Yeah, he does. Well, he hops up on your lap and is sort of doing nothing. Like, he's not on the table, but he is sitting, like, in your lap. And you folks see the corgi head just looking around.
I feel like he's eating from the plate now, too.
Probably. So, Captain looks and he shakes his head. He goes, right, so, you know what I'm asking? What are you folks looking for at these ruins?
Everyone like head pivots to Neva.
So Neva had already told him that she'd been looking for a Fey Gate.
Right. What are you planning to do with it?
Investigate it?
For...
I have no specific plans for it other than determining if it's there, how functional it is or isn't, and that's about it.
So the plan is to go there, look at it, and then go home.
Well, the plan as currently is to investigate it. I'm not sure what I'll be doing after I investigate it. At some point I'll be going home, yes.
Okay. That's fine with us. And he just sort of makes conversation, with the rest of you. I would like everyone to make a perception check, please. Perception checks,
God.
negative, critical fail for Tessa.
I'm not gonna luck it because
6.
let's see what happens.
Once again,
Ah,
Two
my
26s.
God.
226s.
Even I both.
Neva and Roscoe, you guys are out of control.
Start a detective agency.
Don't tempt me with a good time. Don't threaten me with a good.
I now
What?
absolutely know headcanon about Neva and Bosco opening their own detective agency.
You mean Roscoe? Bosco's the dog. Unless you want to open it with the dog,
No, I
that's
like
fine.
that one better.
Why not all three?
I
feel
was
like
like,
that-
But the
Bosco-
dog gets top billing.
Yeah.
Turner,
It's me,
Turner
Bosco,
Boots,
and
the old
Roscoe.
show.
security
Oh my God.
portion of it, and then
It's
Neva and Roscoe.
Bosco, Roscoe, and Nosco, but then Osco is like graffitied over with Eva.
So most of you folks don't notice, except for the two very perceptive people, that the captain. You folks aren't at a table, right? You're sort of just standing around the back of the ship. There are places to sit, but you can get up and kind of move around. And the captain is slowly working his way towards Nick, casually. God, Tess, that fucking dog is in your lap, and he's doing like stupid dog tricks now. He's almost rolled over, but he's so chunky, he just kind of keeps going. At one point, like, he slides down some steps, but he's okay because he's super chunky and he kind of hops back up. The fuck, he's adorable. So that's what Roscoe and Neva know, that the captain is slowly making his way towards Nick. Nick, unfortunately, you do not notice this.
I'm not going to do anything with my inspirations. I'm just going to continue to not notice this.
Okay.
I mean,
This is fine.
Nick and I are on point tonight.
Yes.
I was like-
I'm gonna lean over to Roscoe, and so, do you think we should say anything? I'm inclined not to. He's shown he's capable of taking care of himself in this regard.
Oh, I'm less worried about that line of thinking. I'm in the neighborhood of, is there something fun we can do?
Sorry, there was a stink bug that just flew past my head. That's why I flinched.
Gross.
That was a
It's okay. My cat is chasing it now.
Good. Great.
Bless her heart. So she's
Fuckers.
small side story. My cat once ate a stink bug and had diarrhea for a week. Subsequently, she figured out that she cannot eat the stink bugs, but she still likes hunting them. She'll go kill them, and then she'll come find me and bring me to their dead bodies. Which I'm very proud of her for.
Good job.
So while Roscoe and Neva are discussing, Nick, he's going to make a persuasion check to attempt to come on to you in a consensual, polite, respectful way.
Okay.
He got a 18 persuasion. Now you get to make the DCs for this because this is your life, buddy. But he got an 18.
Okay. Nick is
I like how your voice went up. Okay.
Let's say not like instantly super into it, but definitely not cold to it, definitely warming up, definitely receptive.
He asks you about...
Let's go with intrigued.
Okay. So for his next thing, he's going to ask you about your ambitions and kind of what do you want to do. You're very clearly a caster of some kind, probably a wizard. What are you hoping to do?
Yeah. Just recently, have I gotten a letter back or anything? By the way, about from the university.
Yeah, they said good job. Keep going. Don't die.
Okay. Cool. I didn't know if I had officially graduated yet. I mean, I assume there would have been a bit of an event there, but
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, intern for a little bit, buddy. Yeah, a little more intern.
Okay.
Oh my god, are we all gonna get to go to your graduation?
Nick,
Yes.
for you the biggest graduation party?
Yes, I'm here for. I just realized what a fun side quest that's gonna be, and also how much university I'm going to have to invent.
We're gonna be your family.
Oh my gosh.
I look forward to ignoring please clap at the end for everyone.
Okay, we'll just look out during...
Yeah, I'm actually still technically at university. This is kind of the graduation internship, if you will. I don't know if it counts as mansplaining if he's also a dwarf, or if he's also a man, but I mansplained to him how wizard graduation works.
He doesn't know, so it's not mansplaining. I don't believe.
It's only mansplaining if they already know.
Yeah, and if you're being
but
condescending about it.
I didn't stop to check if he already knew. Nick's not condescending about it, but it's a little bit of like how did you not know this?
Okay.
And then there's a part of me that's like, well, of course he doesn't know this. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but it's also just such a shock to have such a different that realization that other people have vastly different experiences than me, and Nick takes a second to kind of switch tacks there.
Yeah, as if he's coming out of a bubble of academia.
Almost as if, yes.
Yep. So he listens to you, and you can, without an insight check, he's genuinely listening to you, and seems to be interested. He makes another persuasion check, although this time he gets a 14, and he is he's really diving into your interest, and he's trying to get a feel for you in a not physical manner. And this seems to be running much different than Pantsless, who was pretty much the opposite of this.
Exclusively physical, yeah. Didn't actually tell me her name.
As we're having this conversation about mansplaining, the book that is currently sitting in front of me on my desk is Men Explain Things to Me by Rebecca Solnit. Which is one of my
so good.
Of all time. It starts with one of my favorite essays of all time.
That's awesome.
Carry on.
Stop interrupting my date. God damn it, Kate.
God damn it.
I want to see some dwarf daddy action.
Well, there's a video game that needs to be made.
Can Tessa help? Can she help?
Yeah, no. See if you. I think everyone else is.
I will absolutely accept a help roll.
Yeah, Tessa, how do you
No,
help
can
this
she help the
situation?
daddy? No, can she help the daddy? Is what she wants to do.
How do you want to help the dwarf daddy?
Um,
Fuck, now I have another name for this session.
You
I
can
was
have
gonna help Nick.
alt title.
I don't know if like. If
Oh,
wants
okay.
Help
Sure.
or like some advice. Because I am a Lauren after all, despite my obliviousness to my own issues. So
I think we've all known or been that friend.
do as I say, not as I do.
Well, the perfect relationship insight for everyone you know, and then like, what? Who likes me?
Hmm.
Absolutely.
We all know that.
We all know that.
So, what do you want? How are you helping, Deb?
Advice: how to approach this situation? Because looks like Nick's a little unsure.
So they are mid-conversation. The dwarf gentleman goes to relieve himself.
Are you just
Are you just gonna roll?
Hey, it's going great.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Is that what Tessa does?
She puts a hand on Nick's shoulder, gives him the thumbs up, and says, "It's going great." Walks away. Because honestly, I can't think of anything better or more fun than this.
Does she have like the bardic version of a Lauren inspiration for to help people hook up?
I don't think so, but that'll be.
That might be a feature we give to Aloran clerics and paladins.
You know
at
what?
some point.
Honestly,
That should be a
kinda
channel divinity.
yes.
Channel wingman.
This is totally your character, and you are free to accept or reject this idea. But like, it could be very amusing if you went over to what's his face?
Nick.
No, the tiefling bard dude.
Oh, Thrax.
Thrax. There we go. You named the thing Throck, and you have a guy named Thrax. Scoot. It's very confusing. I thought his name was Throx.
Fair enough.
You could, if you were to go over to him and request him to play like a slightly slower, more mellow, or more romantic tune,
Yes.
he might take that as your interest in him, whereas you're doing it because you're trying to help out your friend Nick.
I feel like I would be talking to Neva about this, and she would actually give me this suggestion, and then I'm like,
Neva
"You know
would
what,
give
you're
you this
absolutely
suggestion, but like Neva would be intending it on both counts, like the help set the mood for Nick if Nick is interested in the mood being set, and get you to talk to the cute tiefling boy who clearly has a crush on you.
I'm definitely doing that. Neva is the smartest.
So Tessa goes, asks. The tiefling boy is thrilled to do this, of course, for Tessa. And as this is happening, Kiki, I need Kiki, Roscoe, and Neva to please make an insight check. Oh my. See if Jesus will. Oh no, it's
I can't
seven.
see my screen because
14.
my out of it. Come here, kitten. Go that way.
17,
Still
not
strong.
bad.
Neva rolls a 20.
Okay.
Not a natural 20.
So with your insight, he is this musician is just playing his heart out for Tessa. Tessa has the dog in her lap again, and is very focused on the dog. I don't know if that's wrong, Deb. You tell me if that's wrong.
I think now that she's aware of it, she still doesn't really know what to do, so she's probably just going to focus on what's going on with Nick and the dwarf captain.
Yep. So he's that help action. He's gonna try one more persuasion.
Well, I was gonna say, I think I'm actually. Well, I want to see how this persuasion goes.
He got a 20.
Somewhere Alora is crying because she's like all these missed love opportunities.
This is what it sounds
Sandskiffs in the night.
Laura cry.
That could be the name of the episode.
Oh, that's another good one.
So many,
many.
He got a 24, Nick.
Damn. Okay. So
You
between a
rolled
very
high.
good perception and honestly, Tessa's fumbled attempt at
job.
help, like honestly, like did a long way towards like not like settling the. Like, yeah, you know what? This is going great. You're right, actually.
Thanks, Tessa.
I feel fine.
Yeah. What is there to worry about? So I will I'm going to kind of trail off in the middle of talking about my interests and ask about his, and kind of reach out and put a hand on his arm.
Yeah, so
while I ask.
he shifts towards you, and you really get into a very surprisingly deep conversation, surprisingly quickly, about what he's done with most of his life. Is he is much older than you. Like, he's decently old for a dwarf. He would be the equivalent of like probably a very late 40s to somewhere in mid 50s for a human. And he's just like genuinely trying to make a connection with you. As once again the dog farts, but luckily you're outside, so it's not as bad.
Yeah.
I don't even turn to look at it, because again, college student, common prank. I just like flick my string off my wrist and press digitate behind me.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like the over the head basketball shot, but just like the targeted press digitate. Yeah.
I gotta stop giving this dog random food.
But at this point, the other crewmates are all kind of clear out to let you guys go, and the Thrax suggests you do, the rest of you leave. He's gonna, I think we should maybe move this party somewhere else. Let's get some other drinks. Is he trying to herd the rest of the group away?
I had been moving over toward Thrax myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all about it. I think it's a great idea. I kind of help shepherd people out, but I make sure to sort of draw myself and Thrax kind of at the back of the pack, herding everybody off. And I pull out a cigarette and I offer him one if he wants it.
He's like, "Oh no, man, I don't want to, mess with the pipes."
I hear you. So, what's your captain like?
Well, I've been around for a while. He's very paternal. He's a good guy. He's been a good mentor. He taught me a lot about sailing. Like, I'm from.
Oh, we lost.
Damn it.
Hang on.
Well, there he is. Well,
There's a chance.
William?
Are we? Hello?
hey, you're back.
Hello.
Hi.
I missed you.
I haven't had a proper Discord explosion in a while.
Yeah.
Just full everything off and back on. So he's a good guy. He's paternal.
Paternal. You taught me a lot. I came here from a place you probably haven't heard of. He's been good to the crew. He just tries to keep us alive and make sure shit doesn't eat us.
Yeah, crews. Always appreciated how ship crews become a little family, really.
Yeah, a lot of the folks don't have really anything else.
Yeah, I know what that's about.
Mm.
Yeah, I just wanted to check because our little crew hasn't been together as long as I get the impression this crew's been together, but we mean a lot to each other. And when I see somebody interested in a member of this little group,
Mm-hmm.
it's important to me to make sure that they're a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to stand in the way of anything for anybody. You understand, you get it. But I'm very glad to hear that they're good people. They have good intentions. Knowing that they have good intentions means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm. He doesn't really get where you're driving at, Will.
Okay, well, that
So
still tells me something.
he's firmly talking about the captain, and he means that, but the sort of secondary message there is lost upon this gentleman.
Okay.
He rolled a very low insight check.
I almost pat him on the head, like the muscles.
The urges.
The muscles in my body, like the shoulders to lift the arm and do it, start to tense up. And I'm like, no. But man, okay, all right, cutie. Well, we'll see.
Okay. The night wears on as everyone kind of settles in for the evening. And Nick, we will veil our way and fade to black as you talk.
Hand to Rose.
Hands to Rose. And whatever happens, happens. That's up for Nick to decide. As dawn breaks again, this morning is met with not a lot of the...
I was gonna say, as dawn breaks, does some wind break as well?
No.
That appears to be the going theme.
Ew.
Scent of rosemary and lavender this morning.
The dog was
not
reclaimed during the evening by the tiefling.
Excellent. Then you have to wake up to the lovely scent of lemon and rosemary.
This time, though, you are called to the top as you see in the distance a number of things. So, Neva, do you want the good news or the bad news?
Bad news first.
You, deep in your essence of being, feel the presence of Famodians around.
Fuck me. Neva will actually swear, like at the edge of the ship's like side guardrails. Yeah, she doesn't know ship terms.
The front boat.
Fucking forest, even ships. She'll swear. All right. What's the good news though?
The ruins are there, and they appear to be active.
They appear. They appear to be active in a way that means that there are Famodians coming in through that Fey gate.
I don't know, but we will find out next week.
Bum, bum, bum.
So thank you all.
Silent clap.
Thank you all very much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all had a lovely Thanksgiving and are safe and sound. But we will find out what's going on with these ruins next week. So thank you for coming out, and please stay safe.
Wear your mask.
Bye-bye.
Wear your masks, fuckers.